welcome back to the Lincoln Loco 2. Today, we have got two games for you against Grimsby Town and Blyth Spartans, who are sitting in the relegation zone, so I'm expecting nothing less than 6 points in today's episode. Now, of course, doing Grimsby Town again, we did them earlier on in the season, but because that episode didn't work, because the audio cut out, which for some strange reason, we didn't really get a proper episode against Grimsby, so although we beat them last time, we need to do a proper episode and beat them in a proper episode. We also need to get 6 points today because recently results, they've not been brilliant, I've got to say. We'll take you through results now. We've been playing against teams that are around our level and we've not been the best in them. So you were last here when were you last here? It was for the, was it the Oval and the Woking game? The 3-3 draw with the Oval and the 3-2 win over Woking. After that, we played Crawley. If we beat Crawley, we would have gone into the playoffs. Unfortunately, it ended as a 0-0 draw. It was one of those games where I think there were about 2 highlights in the entire game. Nothing much happened. So we took a point from that game, to be fair. That was a good result still. 0-0 I was happy with. We then went up against Carlisle in the FA Trophy second round. We won the FA Trophy last season, but Carlisle scored in the 87th minute to take the win, and they progressed, and we're knocked out. I thought we might go a little bit further, but when we draw against Carlisle, who at the time I think were top of the table, we knew that was probably going to be the hardest draw possible, and as you can see, not so much of a big deal, to be fair. We won it last season, and it would have been nice to win it again, or try and win it again, for example, but it just wasn't going to be this season. We then came up against Scunthorpe away from home, and we drew 1-1 in a game which we really should have won. Scunthorpe are sitting in the lower half of the table. We had so many chances to win that game. Wakely scored from a corner, and we had so many chances, but we just couldn't capitalise on it. They scored late on, and we dropped 2 points in that game, which was frustrating. We then lost 2 games on the bounce, one to York, who I think are actually behind us in the table at the moment, but at the time they were really chasing up to the playoffs. They scored 2 goals early on, and we tried to reply later on, but we just couldn't do it. They won 2-1. And then Harrogate, who are a team chasing the title this season, won 2-1. Dustin France with an own goal. We scored late on, thinking we could rescue a draw, but then they scored even later on to take the win. So that was frustrating. These run of games were a little bit frustrating, I've got to say. I wasn't particularly pleased, but they're teams that are around our level. We did beat Barnet, though, 2-0. They are just below us in the table, I believe. So it's really important to pick up 2 points or 3 points against them, scoring 2 goals. Unfortunately, Mark Mason picked up an injury in that game and is now out he was out for 6 weeks at the time. He might be back out maybe for 2 to 4 weeks now at the moment, something like that. But it was a big shock to lose him. Very unfortunate to do so. We then played Carlisle in the league next and drew 0-0, which actually was a really good result, I've got to say. Considering I would have taken the point in the league rather than winning the cup, for example, because if we want to try and progress and get towards the playoffs, we need to pick up points in the league. And Carlisle, who are again another team fighting for the title, I think they're maybe 3rd in the table at the moment. That was a great result. And then last time out, we managed to overcome Morecambe 2-1. Turiak and Jonathan Brown getting the goals pretty much at the start and at the end of the match to make sure we picked up 3 points. So it's been up and down. We've drawn a few and lost a few in there. It hasn't been brilliant, but other teams around us have also sort of had a bit of a wobble and things like that, to the point where we are sitting 10th in the table when it wants to load up fully. There we go, 10th in the table on 52 points. Just ahead of us, York on goal difference, essentially, also on 52 points. Newport, 1 place ahead of us on 53 points. And then Hartlepool are on 55 points. So, we're 3 points away from Hartlepool, 8 points away from Aldershot. Carlisle and above, they are way ahead of us now. There's no point really worrying about those teams. But when we've got Grimsby in 20th and Blyth in 23rd today, I'd like to think it's a guaranteed 6 points. And that really potentially could take us into the playoffs today. We have also lost 3 players, which has been very frustrating because there's not really much I could do about it. If we look at the transfer history, the 3 players who've lost were on non-contract terms. So they could have contracts offered to them at any time from any club. And unfortunately, some good clubs offered contracts to them, basically. Calderwood offered a contract by Gateshead. Gateshead are in League 2, I believe. League 2. And to be fair, he didn't want to turn them down. Why would he turn them down? He could have a professional contract with Gateshead in the Football League. So he's taken that and gone there. Brazilian has also gone to Portsmouth, both on deadline day, the Brazilian and Sam Griffiths. Don't know why Coventry really wanted Sam Griffiths, because I don't think he's good enough for us at the moment in our division, let alone Coventry in the division above. So I'm not quite sure why they were so interested in him, but he's gone to Coventry in League 2. Not played a game yet for them, but, you know, he's gone there at least. But annoyingly, the Brazilian has gone to Portsmouth, and again, another professional contract offered to him. They're in League 1 and in the promotion places or the playoff places of League 1. So I can understand why the Brazilian would want to go there. Didn't really get many starts with us, to be fair. 9 appearances for us, which most of which coming from the bench, actually. I've got to say, well, 4 starts, 5 from the bench. But if Portsmouth in League 1, nearly in the Championship, come knocking, I can understand why he goes. So we've lost 3 players and we've not replaced them, mainly because they were fringe players in the first place. They weren't really starting games, but also because at this stage of the season, players that were available on loan weren't particularly good to us. Players that are available on free transfer also not very good and weren't going to really improve and things like that. So we've not replaced them yet. I'm just trying to try and save money now for next season's budget. Anyway, our team is a little bit smaller, but we've not lost any key players. So the lineup is still pretty similar. We've got White in goal with a backline of Turiak, Wakely, Kark, Eden and Carroll, with McCabe, Belcher and Howell starting midfield. Howell and McCabe just coming back from injuries as well, so it's good to have them back in the squad. Coley, who's probably the best player in between episodes, starts on the left with Douglas Hurst on the right. And in the absence of injured Mark Mason, Jonathan Brown is starting up front. Mason out for another, 2 weeks to 4 weeks, basically. So we won't see him in this episode, unfortunately. But hopefully he'll be back fighting for next episode. Right then, kickoff is upon us here today at Ashby Avenue. Grimsby coming all the way down the A46 for us. Hopefully they bring a lot of fans, because that would be good, because we're a bit down on money at the moment. We're into the red once again, just about. So a big away attendance from Grimsby. Hopefully like 2,000 people will come from Grimsby. That'd be really good. That might be a bit ambitious, actually. Maybe 1,000 will come. That'd be quite good. Chance early on for us, though, as the corner cross comes in. Well, it's disallowed. Ben Clark-Eden scores the goal from the free kick. That's what I tried to say. Unfortunately, disallowed, but that's a promising sign at least. We are actually, as well, the only game tonight kicking off. So a win today would actually put us into 7th, because we'll go on to 55 points if we win. And we'll have at least +4 goal difference, and Hartlepool will have 3. So we will go into the playoffs tonight if we win. Early indications with 4 shots and 61% possession, they look promising out there. But obviously, the main stat that actually matters is the scoreline, and that currently is 0-0. Now, if the audio had worked in the last episode that we did with Grimsby in it, you'll know that Gobbly plays for Grimsby. Now, that name might not mean anything to you, but if I say Prince Harry from the Lincoln Loco 1, that's the same person, because we gave him a nickname because we couldn't say his name, basically. He's obviously had a fall from grace because he's playing for Grimsby. Also in the National League, as Jonathan Brown scores his 11th of the season to put us 1-0 up and temporarily into the playoff places, which is very nice. As I was saying, though, about Aribi, he was in the championship with us in the Lincoln Loco 1 with Lincoln City. Probably around this sort of year as well. Maybe not now. Probably not as late on as this. I think it must have been a few seasons before, which actually goes some way to saying that Gobbly Aribi really has had a downturn in his career. So, I don't know. Either way, we go to half-time 1-0 up, which is very nice. But of course, as we've been acutely aware in recent episodes, a 1-goal lead means nothing. Chance for us early in the second half, though, with McCabe on the ball, plays it back to Wakely, and he's been tackled by Thompson, who looks like a pretty decent striker. As I say that, he has a shot from 40 yards out, which goes wide. So, no, he's not a decent striker. Grimsby, by the way, only brought not even 500, which is a bit annoying, actually, to be fair. I thought they'd bring a bit more, but at the same time, they are nearly in the relegation zone of the National League, and they're playing against Lincoln United and Lincoln City. So I can understand, actually, why they're not bringing that many. Free kick for us now, where we nearly scored from the free kick. Well, we did score from that kind of free kick earlier on. We've just picked up a penalty as well, which is fantastic. Brown to take the penalty to take us 2-0 up in this game if he scores it. We seem to have success from free kicks in this area in this episode. We've scored the penalty as well. We're 2-0 up, which is fantastic. And we've now got a little bit of breathing room between us and Grimsby. But again, we have seen us drop recently from 2 goals down, or 2 goals up, rather. Okay, all we have to do is hold on for 20 minutes to see this game out. Howell's looking tired, so we're going to take him off the pitch and bring on Hall. And then I'm tempted to actually take Brown off for Turner just to rest him up, because we've got to rely on Brown now that Mason's injured for a few weeks. So I don't want him getting too tired. So we'll take him off as well. But they're the 2 changes that we'll make, at least for now. He could actually grab his hat-trick just as I click accept on the thing. He's actually been tackled in the area and not going to get his hat-trick. So a bit of excitement there. But actually, we could come back once again. Howell on the ball, into Brown, out to Coley. Can he get himself into the area? Coley just about keeps it in. Turiak to put the ball into Belcher. McCabe on the edge of the area. Howell into Douglas Hurst shoots. Not gone to Brown. He's not getting his hat-trick, and we're not getting a 3rd goal, at least yet. Come on then, boyos. Hold on for 10 minutes. Our defence has played very well, which does suggest that, to be fair, Grimsby might have been coming forward all game and doing quite well. Although they've only had 6 shots, so maybe we're just limiting them like really far up the pitch. We're going to take Carroll off for the final 5 minutes for Dale, who's going to come on that right-hand side. Not normally playing there, but he can play at right-back. I like Dale on the bench at the moment because he can play left-back, centre-back and right-back. So he's quite versatile. I like that. He'll come on for the final 5 minutes or so, although potentially should have come on for Turiak, who looks like he's taken a knock towards the end of this game. But with 2 minutes left on the clock, I can't see Grimsby coming back into this game to win it now. They might grab a goal from this highlight, and that will scare me as they do grab a goal. Okay, let's not talk too soon. We've got a minute and a half now to hold on. A minute and a half to hold on. We've got 7 seconds to hold on, and there's a corner. We've cleared it. Only as far as Taylor. Chamberlain out to Sharkey. If they score now, I'll be so cross. We've cleared it. Referee, blow your whistle, please. Turiak clears it. Referee, blow your whistle, please. Hunt to Sharkey to Taylor. Dale, just get rid of it. Put it in Rose Ed. Although this is a ground which has pretty much no seating, so Rose Ed is actually probably row B. Just please get rid of it. Referee, blow your whistle. He finally does. And we do pick up 3 points against Grimsby. Just about. And we're in the playoffs. We're in the playoff places with, is it 10 games to go now? 10 games to go. We've entered the playoffs. We are 11 points behind Carlisle, though, and more points behind the teams above us, and they've actually got games in hand on us. So we're not challenging for the top 5. We potentially could catch up with Aldershot, but I don't know because they're 5 points ahead of us. And then, of course, we have got Hereford, Crawley, York, Newport and Hartlepool bearing down on us. So it's going to be a very tough next 10 games to see if we can actually try and secure playoffs. Oh, Douglas Hurst is out as well for 10 to 12 days. That's not good, especially because Sam's gone. Turiak's also out for 1 to 3 days. What's going on here? Where do all these injuries come from? I don't quite know where they've come from. We've got Blyth as well in 3 days' time, which is a worry. I mean, actually, it's not a worry because they're 23rd, so we might be okay. But I'm a bit concerned about our right-hand side now that Sam Griffiths has gone and old Douglas Hurst is injured. Not much rest time as well in between the Grimsby and the Blyth game. That worries me a bit as well. I'd be more worried if we were playing top of the table, for example. But I mean, to be fair, Blyth though, they'll be fighting for their survival, so they could be as good as Grimsby because Grimsby weren't bad in that game. As you can see, a lot of players are quite tired out there. We're going to have to take Turiak for Dale because Turiak's picked up a knock. He can't really play in today's game on 70% condition, which is a bit of a worry. Agu is going to get a rare start, I think, on the right-hand side of the pitch because he can kind of play in that position. So he'll start today on the right-hand side. Belcher's also looking tired, so Hall is going to start instead of him. Actually, other than that, it should be okay, I think. What we'll also do is we'll take Turiak off the bench for Cook. That's probably as good as we're going to get right now. So let's submit this team, head off to Blyth, and hope we get the win. Right then, kickoff is upon us in the northeast here at Blyth. Everyone else is kicking off today. Everyone else is playing as well. So I think we've got favourable fixtures because Hartlepool are playing Wrexham. Wrexham are third, Hartlepool. Wrexham should win that. Newport County are playing against, where are they? Dagenham, who are 22nd. So should be a win for Newport, to be fair. But York are playing against Chester, who are top of the table. And then Crawley are playing against Eastleigh. So hopefully they both draw. Of course, none of it really matters unless we get the win today against Blyth. And 20 minutes into the game, not a highlight. Superbly as well, Blyth had 3 shots to our 0 shots. Blyth and more possession. Blyth, who are sitting 23rd in the table. Okay, lads. First highlight of the game, though, looks like it is going towards Blyth, unfortunately, as Hassan's been put forward in behind the defence. Great interception there. His cross nearly actually came to their number 7, but Dale just collects it and clears it. But we're not playing very well. Fortunately for us, though, other results are currently in our favour, so that's quite good. Our classic, Agu's picked up a bruised thigh, so we've got no one to play on the right-hand side of the pitch at the moment if Agu goes off, which is a big shame. Howell keeps possession just about as Hall collects it. Into Brown now on the edge of the area. Plays it out to Carroll, who can put a decent cross. Agu gets tackled, and now the counter-attack for Blyth surely is going to be coming as Baldwin on the ball. Under pressure, plays it back to his goalkeeper, who plays it up towards Swaby, but a great header from Dale. Coley into Brown, who just puts it wide. 2 shots in that first half. That's all we've had. That's worrying. Aggressively, I am not happy with the performance out there. And Carroll looks stressed by that. Well, screw you, Carroll. I tell you what, if other results go in our favour today, I'd take a draw, but I'd be very upset still. I'll only accept the draw if other results go in our favour and we don't drop out the playoffs. And here come Blyth now. Tackle, nearly a tackle. Blyth still had the ball, so it wasn't nearly a tackle. They've got away scot-free pretty much as Graham comes forward. Ball goes out to Swaby. For God's sake, how are we losing to Blyth? Right, we need to go on to very attacking. And we need to say, show some passion. And we should probably take everyone off. No one deserves to be on the pitch right now because they're all playing so poorly. As they've nearly scored another one, Blyth. Right, Brown has played woefully. Get him off the pitch. Can anyone play in Agu's position? I don't think they can. I don't think anyone can. Spencer Keller, no. Coley, no. No one can play there apart from Brown. So actually, maybe we don't take Brown off. We swap him with Agu just to keep him happy. Turner will go up front to get the injured guy off. And Spencer Keller will come on for Coley, who's played woefully today as well. Half an hour then to turn things around. Half an hour. And Blyth are the team on top. And we've dropped out of the playoffs because Hartlepool are still drawing with Wrexham. Come on, Wrexham, grab a win, please, lads. Do us a favour and get a win. We can't seem to do anything. Push forward. I don't know what more I can really do in this situation. Howler's played woefully, so Belcher's going to come on for him. We'll swap him and Hall around as well. No, we won't. We'll leave them as they are. Belcher and... No, we don't want Hall off the pitch. We want Howell off the pitch. Saying that, actually, Hall has played woefully, and I prefer Howell. So let's get Belcher on for Hall and see what happens. Throw in for Blyth. Right. I'm getting stressed out by this. Like, we have no right to be near the playoffs this season, so I shouldn't really be stressed out about it. Like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, no big worry, because we're not expecting it. And if we do go up, we are going to get relegated because there's no chance of us surviving League Two with the budget we've got, with the team we've got. But I play to win. That's how I play Football Manager. I just love winning. So if we miss out on the playoffs, for example, by a point or something like that, something stupid, I will be very cross. And with 10 minutes to go, we're still losing to Blyth. Right, demand more. Just demand more out there. I don't know what else I can do. This was meant to be a routine win. A really routine win. And yet, unless we grab an equaliser here, which makes up for a little bit, I said I'd be kind of happy with a draw, as we've not got the draw because McKay puts it over the bar. We've lost to Blyth. We've actually just lost to Blyth, who are 23rd. They've not even moved up in the table. That's the thing. They're as good as relegated, Blyth. They're on 30 points. They're as good as relegated. We needed the win today, and we've lost it. To Blyth. Oh, for goodness sake. Right, well, let's never speak of this game again. Why couldn't Wrexham just win that? That would have been so good for Wrexham to win that. We're 1 point... I mean, it's not a bad position to be in. 9 games to go this season, 1 point behind Hartlepool. It's not all doom and gloom, is it? But it's just annoying. 9 games to go, but if we do the usual 5, it will bring us out to Hartlepool and Hereford, wouldn't it? If we do the usual 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there's no point really doing 2 episodes back-to-back like that. So I think actually we'll play the 7 in between, and we will do Torquay and Newport in the next episode in the last game of the regular season. Hopefully, we'll still be in shout of playoffs by then, but if we play like we played against Blyth, we'll probably lose all these games and be in a relegation battle. Anyway, thank you very much for watching today's episode. If you've enjoyed it, please do drop a like on the video for me and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And I'll see you next time for what could be a mental episode, or what could be just like, oh, it's another episode, mediocre. And I hope it's not, but I'm warning you, that's a rubbish way to end the episode, Tom. Come back next time to see a mediocre episode when nothing could happen. No, come back next time to see us in the playoffs. Maybe. We don't know. I'll see you then.